Our chalice lighting this morning is by Dawn Skay Cooley. We light our chalice this morning, grateful for the love that we experience in this beloved community. May the flame light the way for all who seek such abundance. Hello, my name is Vlad Krastev, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm your worship associate this morning. Our church shares a covenant that we make with one another, a promise that helps to remind us of why we gather and how we want to be with one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in saying our covenant together. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service.
Apologize, I got caught flat-footed. I'm used to a little paper, and I didn't pick up my paper when we came in. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here in this beautiful weather. The first snow, we knew it was going to happen, right? Didn't know it was going to be so soon, but it's not real bad. It was a nice trip in. Not too much snow, a little accident, that's about it. And I appreciate being back with you again. Let's stop it right here. I'm Reverend R. Ken. I am your guest speaker today. Oh. Okay.
Sorry?
That's okay. I just knew it shouldn't be up there. It shouldn't be up there. I just knew that. We're good. Okay. You know, you kind of, when you came back and forth, you reminded me of one of Santa's helpers. You know, that was good. I woke up with a dilemma, and many ministers wake up with a dilemma. They have this talk prepared, and then they get this inspiration. And then the dilemma is, do you give the talk, or do you do the inspiration, or do you try to do both? So I'm going to try to do both. I'm going to try, but no promise. I may come off of this because there's a lot going on right now. And while we're here because we come for fellowship, we come for community, we come to grow in spirit, we come for many reasons, but it's hard to neglect what's going on, and especially in a community like this. To hear that you have donated and given to food pantries and shelters, that means there's a consciousness, but then we didn't come for a political statement or a speech, and I'm not going to do that. In fact, I was warned, don't go out there and give your political stuff. And I said, I won't. And then I had to figure a way around it. I said, but I'm going to talk about humanity, because humanity is very, very important. So I'm going to, stay with our topic of gratitude, because it's so very important. But as I go through it, let us remember that gratitude is not something that we just share among each other. It's an energy that we want to push out into the world, into the universe, especially now, because there's such a lack of gratitude for humanity going on right here in our state. That's my political. Now I'm going to get into this thing about a cookie. A teacher was helping a kindergarten class practice good manners. So one day a little boy dropped his crayon on the floor, and another child came over and picked it up. And naturally the teacher smiled and said, well, what do you say, little Johnny? Little Johnny thought for a minute, said, what do you say when somebody does something nice for you? He said, do I get a cookie first? And the teacher laughed, just as you did, and he said, no, you just say thank you. He frowned for a second and asked, even if I don't get anything? And she nodded and she said, yes, because gratitude isn't payment, it's appreciation. And then he thought for a moment and replied, okay, but a cookie would help us remember so much better. Sometimes we all need that reminder, right? That gratitude isn't just for the moments when we receive something we can hold. It's how we acknowledge the unseen kindness that makes our world just a little sweeter, even without a cookie. Now, many of us are familiar with, well, I'm going to ask for hands. I kind of do this participation thing when I'm up here. I don't want to feel alone. I want to make sure you're with me. But many of us are familiar with or know someone who's experienced 5 or 7 levels of grief. Is that correct? Does anyone know any? Yeah. But I dare say that even in a season of thanksgiving and thankfulness, not many of us have considered the 5 levels of gratitude. From reaction to realization. You see, gratitude is not a reaction to life. It is a vibration of life itself made conscious. The fact is, gratitude evolves from a simple thank you to a state of oneness through the 5 stages we're going to journey through today. But these 5 stages are not out here, they are in here. These 5 stages seem to be missing today in so many areas. So I invite you to join me as we step through these stages, starting with the simple and the most easiest to remember, and that is what? Thank you when something happens, when we get the cookie. Gratitude is an appreciation for what we have received. So we begin by teaching the little ones, and hopefully when we get older, we remember to just say thank you when things go our way in particular. And it's a first step. It's a beautiful first step, but it is conditional. It's conditional on the fact that you've given me something and I say thank you for that. Pretty easy to do. Aesop explains that gratitude turns what we have into enough, while Lassus says, when you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. I don't have to wait to receive, to have a gratitude attitude. I can walk with it. But this level, this first level, it's still, at least it opens up the heart. It opens us up to that sacred place where gratitude already exists. I talk a lot about what we already have. We already have faith. We already have gratitude. We already have love. We already have life and energy. It's about allowing it to come forth. And I'm talking to a community that allows it to come forth by your actions. I'm not here to patronize. I'm here to just tell you what I see, tell you what I hear. So if you pat yourself on the back and you say, "Ooh, this Reverend, he gave us this wonderful, good feeling," it's because it's already there. It's because it's already seen. But then there's another level of gratitude, another step that we go through that is a little sweeter. And that's the level that we are aware that kindness is happening around us even without a cookie. Even without a cookie. And it's called a comparative gratitude. It's gratitude by contrast. It's a gratitude that comes from comparing to what we have and what someone else doesn't have. And that was the message this morning when I woke up. It's like you're going to talk about gratitude, and there's so many people that don't have right now, or it's being taken away from them. How are you going to speak on that? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. And he said, I will tell you if you let me. And I think right here it's letting me know that this is the place to share that. This is the place to realize how fortunate we all are and how unfortunate so many others are. Not to grieve and not to be political, but just to realize that the joy that we have is joy that can be had by others if we continue to express and push out our joy. In other words, the work that you do is going so far, there are people that you're touching that you don't even know, and that's a beautiful thing. And they're grateful without even knowing who to be grateful to. And that's an energy that you have. When we have this attitude of gratitude just because, not because I'm better than, not because I have more than, but because I have, and I recognize that I have, that's when you are able to enjoy the little things. The little things. And there's a quote that says, enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they really were the big things. They really were the big things. And another one says, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things that you only hoped for. I like to say it in a different way. I like to say, be joyful about what you have. And I come back to you, and I really didn't mean to come out and butter you up today. Spirit just does what Spirit does. But I come back to you because when you are sharing the way that you share, you are helping others, along with yourself, appreciate the little things you see. The little things, a can of food, in the midst of someone taking food away. I promise I'm going to stay on it. I'm not going where they told me not to go. I promise you I will. I won't. If they hear it, see, they'll, and they might be watching, I don't know. But this is a level of gratitude where you begin to see out and then just appreciate what you see out here and be able to become one with that. Become one with it. It's a beautiful thing. How many people have felt oneness with whatever they've done, a gift that they've given, and they just feel, not because somebody else said, oh, wow, but just because they were able to give. 2 people. Wow. You didn't? Yeah. They should have told you I'd do that. That's an inner energy. It has nothing to do with out here. That's an inner energy. And why did I point that out? Because I said earlier that the gratitude is already inside of us, and we just sometimes do things that evoke it, that evoke that spark, and it comes alive, and we feel so good, so very good. There's another level as we move through this level from thank you to I am gratitude. And this is when we bring gratitude into our practice. Now I'm really touching on you, aren't I? This is what you guys do. You have gratitude as part of your practice. And again, if you say, he's trying to come back again, that's why he's buttering us up. That may be true, but it's really Spirit telling me, saying to me, these are things you should share. And it's so important sometimes because we do things as human beings, and sometimes we don't get the recognition. Now, I don't mean we don't get trophies and awards. I mean there's an energy that we're seeking because the gratitude's inside of me, and I kind of want you to say something, to do something, to invoke it in me so it'll come alive, you see. And some of the things that I hear that you do definitely touches people, and it brings the gratitude inside of them. So it's not just the material stuff that you do. Realize it's much deeper than that. So much deeper than that. It's I'm allowing someone to feel the total humanness that they possess. I'm allowing them to feel that. That is something awesome. Yeah. It's more than thank you, right, for a cookie. And when we get to that level of gratitude, it's not the things that are happening all around us. We begin to say, I thank the universe for what I've learned today. I thank the universe for what I've connected with today. I thank the universe for just being today. Gratitude on another level. And then go to the third level of gratitude. And this is gratitude that we choose. We choose to be grateful. Okay, I know what's happening. You're just scratching your head, right? Yeah. See, that's what happens when you have foggy vision. You don't know what's going on. No, I'm good, Karen. This is when we move from reacting to creating gratitude. Reacting to creating gratitude. Did you know that you guys create gratitude? Did you know that you guys create gratitude? Somebody said yes. One person. Great. At least one person knows what you're doing here, right? You create gratitude with your actions. You don't wait for people to say thank you. You're doing things to create a positive environment, and that's energy that goes into gratitude. I know you didn't know that, but you are. You're little gratitude elves. You did. You're little gratitude elves. You're out there creating gratitude without even wanting thank you. You didn't know I knew that part, did you? You don't ask for thank you, you just do it. See, why did I know that? Because you use? No. Because the energy that you exude in this room says that. And then the work that you do. Something in the Bible, I don't do a lot of Bible, it says faith without work is dead. Something like that. You ever heard that stuff? Yeah, well, you do the work, right? And when you do that, you generate blessings. Not just for yourself and the people that are receiving the gifts, but you create an energy of blessings. An energy of blessings. So know that you're doing that. This is a good time to know that, you see. Thanksgiving is here, and the season, and the holidays, and the elves, and the Santas, and all of that, right? But now, what I want you to do, and what I'm bringing to you today, is that there's a thankfulness that you can have that has nothing to do with material, that has nothing to do with gifts, that has something to do with the energy that you are generating because you're a part of this organization. And if I knew I was going to do this, I would have asked for more money. Sure. Okay. That's what you get for being a smart aleck. See, what I'm saying is that I'm with a group that it's not happiness that makes you grateful. It's the gratefulness that you express, the things that you do that allow you to be happy. And that's a good thing. That's not something everybody can do. It's not. I know a lot of people that can't do that. I'm in that group. No, I'm not really, but I know people like that. It's like just because you smile back at someone that smiled at you, you've created an ethos of gratitude. It's that small, it's that simple. It doesn't take a whole lot to be grateful, because that's what it's all about, being grateful, especially during this time again, right? We're going into a season of thankfulness, and we have around us people suffering, and they're not in a foreign country. They're right up the road. So we have to find ways to maintain our thankfulness in the midst of whatever might be going on. I'm getting close, right? I'm right on the border, aren't I? Right there on the border. But I'm going to stay on this side of it. Then there's another level. And that level is when gratitude becomes transformative. Gratitude being transformative, meaning that my energy of gratitude is no longer just mine. It's transforming my life and the people around me. It's a gratitude that no longer sees challenges as obstacles, but opportunities. Now that's a big jump. That's a real big jump. Now I'm not saying that we have to be grateful for challenges. So don't get me wrong. Don't leave out of here saying, that guy told me that we should be grateful for the challenges in our life. I didn't say that. What I am saying is that when the challenges come, because we have an attitude of gratitude, we begin to look at them as, how can I overcome this? How can I get past this? How can I turn this around? How can I make it different? And when we do that, we are expressing gratitude for the challenge. We didn't know that that's what we were doing, but that's exactly what we're doing according to the 5 levels of gratitude. And when we're able to do that, I don't know how many people have experienced some challenges in their life. I don't want you to raise your hand because, nobody else might not know you had a challenge and you don't want them to know, you know what I'm saying? But I have, so I can be that person. But I know that when you change your attitude toward the challenge, it changes you internally. When you stop, woe is me, and say, how can I met a Buddhist today. She says she was the only Buddhist there. She says, I'm the Buddhist. So I don't want to get into Bible. I want to get into spirituality. So the Buddhist knows that if I see the world differently, and I know if I see the world differently, then I change inside. It's not about the stuff out here. As terrible as it is or as great as it is, it's what's happening inside. And this whole message is about how can we integrate this growing in gratitude within us to make us better. To make us better. To change our perception of reality. So we move from transformative to creative. Creative. Yeah. My gratitude changes the atmosphere. Have you ever walked into a room and you could feel the tension? How many people have ever done that? You could feel the negativity. And you might have gotten a message from a book, a minister, a friend. You can change that. You go in with a smile. I walked into a room with a smile and happy, and I left out of there crying. Frowning, they got me because of their energy. I didn't realize how powerful my energy could have been. So if we carry this attitude of gratitude with us wherever we go, we can change the room instead of the room changing us. We can change the room instead of the room changing us. Not a bad idea, is it? You have that power. You have that power. And when we do that, we actually are dealing with faith in action. I believe that my energy is such, I believe, that's the faith, is such that when I walk in a room, the temperature changes. And it changes for the good. It doesn't get colder. There are some people walk in a room, it gets colder, right? It warms up because I'm a grateful person. Not because I'm a happy-go-lucky person, because I'm a grateful person. And it just comes, it just exudes out of me. How do we do that? How do we get to that level? I'm telling you these things, you say, but can you give me a clue how I get to that level? It says, by acknowledging the good that you already have in your life. That's the foundation for abundance, according to Tolle. That's the foundation for abundance. So if there's lack going on in your life, I came from a church I want to go too far off. I came from a church that was a church of prosperity. You may have heard of her. Her name is Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. Don't know if you did, maybe you did. And it was about growing in prosperity. In our community, we never had anything like that. It was awesome. It was a very powerful, powerful thing. But more important than that teachings, more important than that Sunday service, more important than that was this statement right here. When you realize and are grateful for what you have, no matter what your religion is, what you have, it creates an energy of abundance, and you get more. How many people believe that? I don't think this side. Okay, this side won. It was more of on this side that believed it, so you better hang with them. That's what I would say. Whatever you think you can do or believe that you can do, just begin doing it. Because that action is just like magic, it just brings it together. So if I'm going to be more grateful, I'm not going to wait till Thanksgiving. I'm not going to wait until I receive my birthday gift. I'm going to leave this room being grateful. I will find something to be grateful for in my life. Something. And in doing that, I change the energy because there's power. There's power in that action. It's an energy. If I give you nothing else, this gratitude that I'm speaking of is an energy. It's an energy that in some of us, not in this group, is very dormant. I could name a whole list of people, but then I'd be going into that where I'm not supposed to go. So I won't go there. I'll stay here. And then there's a thing called gratitude consciousness. And this is where gratitude is no longer something that we do. It's no longer acts that we do. It's no longer gifts that we give. Gratitude becomes something that we are. I talked to Allison a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the music, and there was a misunderstanding on my part. And I could feel the graciousness, because that's who she is. Now, you may know her differently than that. Especially you guys. But that's what I got. I felt, and I didn't know I was going to say that today either. But you become that which you practice. You become that which you practice without a lot of work. Without a lot of work. See, it becomes who we are because it's what we do. We find things to be grateful for. I was grateful because the traffic was not bad coming out. I was grateful that the accident did not hold me up and I didn't have to call anyone. You find things to be grateful for. I'm still trying to be that grateful. I'm practicing, but I still want to be just gratefulness, just gratitude. And I'll keep working at it. And maybe before I leave, not here, I mean leave, maybe I will then have gotten a little closer. You see, when we're at this level, when we are, everything we do, our conversation, there's a gratefulness in the conversation. There's something that you can feel through the phone and say, wow, there's a peace that comes from this person. There's a peace, and you know it's real. You know it's honest. You can be that if you choose to be that. But that's the level of gratitude that's at the highest end, that gratitude of consciousness. It's not about giving or receiving. It's just, I'm happy about life. An African proverb puts it this way: I am because we are, and that's my joy. I am because we are, and that's my joy. See, gratitude is not the only greatest of all virtues, according to Cicero, but it's the parent of all other virtues. When you're grateful, you're not fearful. So if there's fear, there's a lack of gratitude going on in your life. When there's fear, there's a lack of gratitude. So when I'm fearing a situation, I need to, not you, but I need to remember something that I'm grateful for. Because when I do that, my mind leaves the fear. And there's a spirit in us, no matter what you call it. I'm not here to do that. Whatever you call it, that comes forth and is able to come forth. It reminds me of a time when I would do my talk, and then I would feel all these other things coming at me, and I'd have to say, I'm coming off the script. Well, I'm coming off the script a little bit. You see, when we become this gratitude, when we become being this gratitude, it not only changes our lives, but it changes the lives of the people around us. It changes our wives and our husbands. It changes our children. It changes our boss. It changes everything. So if you really want changes in your life, start becoming grateful. Start expressing gratitude. Let's get back to the cookie as we end up here. So at the end of the school year, the same kindergarten class had a little celebration. And the teacher passed out cookies to everyone and reminded them to, now remember, what? Say thank you. And the same little boy raised his cookie high and said, I'm saying thank you before I eat it this time, just in case gratitude works better when you started early. Quite a guy, this guy. She said, the teacher said, that's a great idea. But that's really the essence of a gratitude consciousness, learning to say thank you before life hands us a cookie. Because when gratitude becomes the starting point instead of the reaction, everything that follows tastes a little sweeter. I want you to affirm with me quietly, if you would. I give thanks for the seen and unseen. Just one time to yourself. I give thanks for the seen and unseen. I give thanks before the harvest appears. I give thanks before the harvest appears. I am the vibration of gratitude itself, and through me, life gives thanks to life. Life gives thanks to life. And with that I say amen, and so it is.
Please rise for our hymn, For the Beauty of the Earth.
This is a new hymn from our virtual hymn book, for which we are grateful. And you will learn it very quickly, so you don't need to worry. It's quite easy, but it's very effective. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. For the beauty of the earth and the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around the skies, for the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth, over and around the skies, for the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth, over and around the skies, for the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth, over and around the skies.
Before we move into our offertory, I'd like to thank Reverend Turner for his message and his kind words and inspiring words. He did remind us that these are challenging times, and we're seeing military in our city's streets, but I don't want those events to overshadow the fact that next Tuesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. And so in the spirit of gratitude, I want to offer to all of you who have served in the military our thanks and gratefulness, not only to you, but to families and individuals who remain behind to wait for those loved ones to return. So in that spirit of gratefulness, we thank you for your service. As we approach the time of our offering, give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that meant so much to those who came before you, and for the church that will mean so much to people you will never know. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. Therefore, as the offering is passed, give generously into it, as though you were giving to your deepest hopes for this place, our world, and for one another. If you are here this morning for the first time, please let the plate pass you by, because being here is your first great offering.
We recognize many joys and concerns within our congregation. If you have anything to share, please use the form on our website under the Pastoral Care tab. You can also find it in the weekly e-news, or call anyone in the lay ministry team, or simply leave a message with the office. Jeannie and Carl Michalik wish to share that they are both recuperating well from their surgeries. We send them our love and wishes for continued safe healing. And Arthur shares, my rat, Wyatt, passed away this week after a brief illness. He was one of the sweetest rats I've ever owned and joined me this summer for blessing of the animals. He'll be missed. Please stay seated for our reflection hymn, Spirit of Life. Our reading today is from poet and author Alice Walker. In these few lines, she invites the reader to step beyond wanting, beyond striving, into the quiet space where gratitude begins. Expect nothing. Live frugally on surprise. Become a stranger to the need of pity, or, if compassion be freely given, take only enough. Stop short of any urge to plead. Then turn to gratitude. May these words remind us that freedom and gratitude are twin expressions of the same truth. When we cease to reach for more, we find ourselves already in the presence of enough. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing words and remain standing for the closing hymn. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
life, Spirit of all life and humanity, we give thanks today. We give thanks for the joy that's in our hearts, the joy of the season, the joy that we have to share in gratefulness and gratitude because it is within us. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for all that's been done and shall be done in the future. We rest in gratitude, gratefulness, and love, and so it is.